is Drew Ivers. I live in Webster City, Hamilton County, about 110 miles southeast of here. And I'm chairing the campaign, have the privilege of chairing this campaign for Ron Paul here in the state of Iowa. I'm also on the State Senate Committee of the Republican Party, so I've been involved in party politics and party activity for a long, long time. At this time, I would like to introduce one of our endorsers, a state representative by the name of Kim Pearson, who has House District 42 on the east side of Des Moines. And Kim is going to make an introduction that you are going to appreciate, I believe. Thank you. Kim? Kim Pearson.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be in Spencer. To show my support for Congressman Ron Paul for President of the United States. He is the liberty-loving, true constitutional conservative that we need to restore America now. And it is also my pleasure to introduce to you Kris Thiessen. She's a wife, mother, business owner. She's the Clay County Republican chairwoman, and she's the founder of the Spencer Tea Party. And I, as a Tea Party person to a Tea Party person, thank you so much. You know, the Spencer Tea Party has an incredible, well-deserved reputation in Des Moines, and that is very educated and very engaged. And that makes the establishment very nervous. So thank you very much to the Spencer Tea Party. And with that, Kris Thiessen.
Today, I am personally endorsing Congressman Ron Paul as a Republican nominee for President of the United States.
Yeah!
I did some soul searching before I stood up here today and asked myself, why am I endorsing Ron Paul? And I came up with these answers. First of all, because I trust him. Because he values real freedom and fights for it. He wants smaller federal government. He supports state rights. He wants to protect our borders rather than be the policeman of the world. He wants to stop giving our money to our enemies. His voting record reflects what he says he will do. He does not flip-flop. He values the Constitution just the way it's written. And he wants to audit the Fed. While I was working at the Clay County Republican Fair Group this last week, I ran into a lot of people who said they liked everything about Dr. Paul's message, except they were a little concerned about his foreign policy, about him wanting to bring the troops home. Well, my husband is a retired 20-year Navy reservist who served in Afghanistan. We are a pro-military family. I did a lot of research on Ron Paul's foreign policy and why he wants to bring the troops home. And I can tell you, I wholeheartedly agree with all of his views in regard to foreign policy. My hope is that Americans will stop listening to what the media tells you that Ron Paul says and start listening to Ron Paul himself. I want to add that my husband George and our 3 children are all Ron Paul supporters. It's a family affair in our house. But I guess the reason I was first impressed with Congressman Paul, and continue to be, is his strong stand to preserve our individual freedoms, personal responsibility, and states' rights. He will truly work to limit the size of the federal government, work to get it back to where it's supposed to be. I'm starting to hear people say, this is the age of Ron Paul. I think they're right. This is the age of Ron Paul. The age where Americans across the country are saying, our government is too big. We want our freedom back. We want sanity back in the White House. And Republican candidate Congressman Ron Paul is the one person to bring sanity to the White House. This is the age of Ron Paul. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you the man that I personally and publicly endorse to be the Republican nominee for President of the United States, Congressman Ron Paul.
nice introduction and endorsement. Kris, it's good to see you again. Thank you for being here, and thank you all for being here. I consider what we're doing today, yesterday, and tomorrow is very important because major changes are occurring in this country, whether we like it or not. Let's just hope that we have something to say about the changes, because there will not be the maintaining of the status quo. Because our country has lived beyond its means too long, and our country no longer can afford it. So we have to decide as a people. Congress, Washington, and our government is a reflection of the people. And when the Constitution was passed, John Adams was asked about, what the chances are we're maintaining this. He argued that it depended on the morals of the people. We have a free country. They gave us a, relatively